again, something a bit different. Last time the go-karts, this time trial bikes. Let's have a look at what's going on down here.
Yeah, so with the trials bikes, it's kind of like the chess of the motorbike world. So there's just as much goes into the skill side of it as the planning for where you're going to go in your sections. So the actual bike themselves, 18-inch rear wheel with a special trial style tread pattern, and we only run about 4 psi of pressure in them, so yeah, quite a low pressure. Really short ratio gearbox as well. It's like the equivalent of a low range 4-wheel drive. Front, 21-inch front, same deal, the trials tread pattern here. Super important, a magnetic lanyard switch, a kill switch for the bike, so if we do fall off the engine will stop. There's no power valve on these motors, but they've got a good flywheel weight on them too, so if you come off the bike without this around your wrist, the bike will just keep going. It's like a diesel tractor, they just keep going. So quite soft suspension as well, as you'll see there, and same with the forks as well, really soft and plush. And that's basically so the bike can ride over the contours on the sections easily without skipping over things. So kickstart, some of the newer bikes have got electric start, but up until recently they've been kickstart just for weight savings and simplicity. But aside from that, water cooled, most other things fairly common to other motorbikes.
Tell me why you get suddenly from switching from go-karts to this?
Because it's just something else to do. So Coxie's got this spare old bike of his, and he put it up to say if anyone wanted to ride it. It was there, so I took him up on the offer. Too good to refuse.
Okay, so we're at what we call the riders briefing. So we'll have a bit of a quick look.
Wales and Queensland participants. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Anthony Cummins. It's a pleasure for Oak to be back at Argyle. It's been a number of years since the club's run event here, and it's a fantastic property.
And they're off. So we finished the riders briefing, and now all the riders are heading off to different sections.
He's not up for it, it's too cold.
Spell your name wrong. You go.
Yeah, mate, all right. How you going?
Look at him go. Hey? It's a bit wet.
Yeah, a bit wet, but no, good fun.
No, we'll be right, all right. Good stuff.
There you go, Scott. Oh, you're heading out. Where are you going first? What section?
Well, we might head over mid-pack, 7 or something like that, and do a bit of a back loop and then come back, try and save a bit of congestion. So,
sounds good.
Yeah, should be a good day, nice and wet. So.
Wet and cold.
Lots of slippery rocks and logs. Woo!
Here comes Glenn.
This will be the most control I've been all weekend, okay?
Ready to go! Put the weather on for us.
Okay.
So, there goes Glenn and Coxie and Scott. And I'm going to, it's so bloody wet and cold, I'm going to try and go find them. So I've been walking for some time. So over there is section 1. And in that direction is section 2. That's where I'm heading. Section 1, there's so much water on the ground over there that trying to get through, it's just impossible for me at the moment. So that's why I've decided to head up to Section 2, higher ground, and we'll wait for the bikes to meet us up there.
When they said standing order, they weren't joking. There's some standing order around. There you go. 1, 2, 3, sure. So the riders are walking through the section right now. Both of these riders are C grade. That means they must follow the blue arrows. Some of the riders are what they call C plus. That is a kind of an elevated C grade. So there's 2 sets of blue arrows. One have a plus on them and the others don't. So the slightly more difficult section for the blue riders is called blue plus. So they have to walk through, find where all their arrows are, figure out where they're going to ride, how they're going to tackle each object, and then how they're going to move from that to the next. And then once they've got it all figured out, they get on the bike. I'm the observer. I give them the signal to go ahead. Off they go through the section. I observe them, make sure they clear the section correctly. If they put their foot down, they get penalty points. I won't go into all the details of how the penalty points work, but there's a maximum of 5 penalty points. That's a fail in the section. So the riders go through, I mark their scorecard, then they move on to the next section. In this case, it's just 50 metres over that direction, but sometimes it might be 1,000 metres in the next direction. So they ride all the sections, hand in their scorecard, get a fresh scorecard, go around, do all the sections again. They do that 4 times in one day.
Sneaky right.
Your lunch could have been a goner there.
1, 2, 3, 4 is up behind that rock. 5 is over near the white tape. And then 6 is on the way down. You'll see it from another side.
So what's happening behind me now at the moment, which you'll see on the screen, the riders, as described by the, I don't know what you call the referee, arbiter, whatever, the guys are walking the actual, the area. And as the guy said before, if depending on what colour, which is the class you're in, they will then look at where those arrows are and then hopefully memorise them and then be able to go through with the bikes.
Going to happen.
No one's claimed it yet.
Yeah. Damn it, wrong foot. Just the wrong foot.
Okay, I've made my way up the hill to a different section. A whole group of people are scouring the section, looking at different routes.
Section, guys!
Very good.
Happy with a 3?
Yeah. Well, it's competent 3.
One thing I'm learning about this sport is that it's for all family members. As you just saw then, a young boy just went through. Looks like we've got some bikes coming up the valley, heading to the next area. I'm not sure where they're going. Let's have a look. Okay, there it is. So, if you look behind me, that's where the next area is. So I'm heading down there. Have fun. So how'd you go?
Could have been better. Hops weren't too good. It's a bit wet for the hops.
Yeah.
It's hard. Well, you can hop, but then once you start going, it's a bit slippery.
Yeah.
But yeah, should be. They'll all ride in. I'll tell you that. Like after a lap or two, they'll all be a lot easier.
How did you feel? You went.
Yeah, not too bad. It was one of those, like a lot of concentration, but not really difficult. So it was nice to come over the plane. It was good.
That's on camera! Hey, that's on game! Been caught in 1080p, man.
Greetings from wet Argyle. It's absolutely lovely, this liquid sunshine. Thank you. From section 7.
It is so wet. I think I've decided to head back to the car park, but I mean, it's way over there. This is what I've got to contend with here. Got to try and get across here somehow. Anyway, here we go. There we go. I did it. I'm across. So I'm going to try and make my way back. So as you can see, I made it back to the car. It's cold and wet and miserable. I just thought I'd mention this. I had intended today to bring out the big guns as far as the video is concerned, but because of the weather, I decided just to use the GoPro 10. That's what I was actually intending to use today, but here come some more riders. Yeah, this weather, it is just continuous, and it's cold, 8 degrees Celsius. A bit of a wind chill factor, and the rain is just relentless. So I mean, if you look at this, my bottom pants are wet. Funny enough, well, not funny, the shoes I'm wearing, the Merrell shoes, I mean, they're wet on the outside, but I'm quite dry on the inside. I love these shoes, I really do. As I did a video on this some time back. I've worn shoes of this make and this style all over the world, you know, through snowstorms of Chicago, London, places like that. They're great. So anyway, here come some more bikes.
Hey.
How'd you go? I didn't find you. I went to about 4 different areas. That's fine.
No, we're way over. It's a long way out there. Yeah, it's pretty slippery and slick and steep and rocky. Even on the basic sections, I was surprised. I did okay on a couple of them, did really bad on a few others. It was still fun though. Yeah. So this is the most important part.
What's that?
Having the cooked.
Oh yeah,
the cooked lunch. I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't get any scones.
No, it's like you know, you bring everything from the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
You're out in the elements. You enjoy yourself.
Gourmet.
Bacon and eggs. What happened to your mud guard?
Went over the bars and my leg got trapped in there and sort of folded in. So, yeah.
Oh.
No, I went over the bars and the leg sort of got trapped in there with the mud guard folded and already had a couple of creaks in it. But that's all right.
There you go. Egg and bacon. Eat your heart out, McDonald's.
I'll look after you, Cliff.
No.
Thanks, Glenn.
So how'd you go?
That was lap 1 down, lap of 1 of 4. It's going to get very interesting on the lap 4, I think. Yeah, not too bad. Couple of 5, heap of 2, couple of 1s. But yeah, just wet. So wet. It's going to get really slick too. So it's a couple of corners there. It's got a bit of water flowing through them. So when they get a bit more traffic on them, they're going to be nearly impassable. But it's going to get boggy. Have some fun. So, yeah, it'll be good.
I think we're going to finish up here at the moment. So I hope you've liked your introduction to Moto Trials. I've enjoyed it. I'll come back anytime, especially when the weather's better. The other thing that struck me with this is that if I had my bike here, I could, I'm talking about the electric mountain bike, I could travel from different section to different section quite easily, which I might do another time. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and until next time, see you later.